Thank you. Please be seated. Mr. President, please be seated. Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, honorable leaders and members of the National Assembly of Seychelles, our distinguished guests are with us today, accompanying the President. Good afternoon. Your Excellency, it is a great honor for me to welcome you to the National Assembly of Seychelles. I reiterate the welcome I am sure you will have received from your arrival in our country, and it is an honor for us that you will be our special guest at the National Day celebrations. Your Excellency, your visit is a tribute to the cordial and cooperative relations that exist between our two countries. Your country is an important member of the community of nations of Southern Africa, and it is vital that there should be this good entente between us so that we can better contribute to the development of the region and also join our voices in addressing international issues that are of concern to us. We hope that your presence in our Parliament today and the message that you wish to share with us will help to strengthen our working relationship and our efforts in the task of advancing our common interest. We also look on it as a bond of friendship between the people of Seychelles and the people of Rwanda. With these words, Your Excellency, I invite you to address our Assembly and also the people of Seychelles who are following us on television and on radio. Rest assured, Your Excellency, we will give you our most appreciative attention. Please.
Honorable Roger Mancien, Speaker of the National Assembly of Seychelles, Honorable Bernard George, Leader of Government Business, Honorable Sebastian Pile, Leader of the Opposition, Honorable members of the National Assembly, Clerk of the National Assembly, people of Seychelles, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm very honored to stand before you to address this extraordinary session of the National Assembly of Seychelles. I think the National Assembly, I want to thank the National Assembly for this distinction, and I also take this opportunity to congratulate you on the 30th anniversary of this body. Tomorrow, I will have the privilege of attending the National Day Parade. 47 years ago, the people of Seychelles joined together with the purpose to build a prosperous and united country. As we celebrate your remarkable achievements, including your history, culture, and diversity, Rwanda stands with the people and the government of Seychelles. The commemoration of independence is not merely symbolic. It is a moment to remember the sacrifices made to forge a nation. Today, with the highest GDP per capita in Africa, Seychelles is making good progress on the road towards sustainable development. In tourism, education, and environmental conservation, Seychelles leads by example. Learning from the past to build a better future without relying on external assistance alone is something that resonates strongly with Rwandans. Every year on July 4th, Rwandans around the world commemorate the end of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi and the liberation of our country. National celebrations are about continuing to move forward in unity, solidarity, and with dignity to transform the lives of the people we serve. It is also about renewing our commitment to seek the truth and stand up against injustices. In that context, I wish to congratulate you for the important work of the Truth, Reconciliation, and National Unity Commission. Partnership and collaboration are also essential to speed up progress. Seychelles and Rwanda are the first two countries on the continent to access the International Monetary Fund's Resilience and Sustainability Trust. As chair in office of the Commonwealth, Rwanda is committed to supporting small island developing states who are disproportionately impacted by climate change. Public-private partnerships like the Reme Trust, which Rwanda launched at COP27, can take us a long way in closing the gaps in climate financing. This year, in partnership with BioNTech, Rwanda received its first batch of modular containers to manufacture mRNA vaccines for the African continent in partnership with European Union. Stronger and more resilient national health systems fuel human capital development. The COVID pandemic was a reality check, and we cannot afford to wait for the next one in order to act. As Africa continues to grow regional integration will always become more and more indispensable. The most serious challenges we face transcend borders. They can only be tackled by cooperation. A persistent threat, for example, is the spread of violent extremism. In 2021, Rwanda accepted the government of Mozambique's request to work with them to assist in fighting terrorism. Working hand in hand, Mozambique and Rwandan and forces from the Southern African Development Community are restoring stability. We must dare to address problems differently and not to wait for others to act on our behalf. Peace and security are the foundation of Africa's future. Moving forward, Seychelles and Rwanda will build on the many successes of our continent to find solutions that benefit our people. This visit opens a new chapter in the partnership between our two countries, Rwanda and Seychelles. And we are firmly committed to our joint efforts. Once again, let me thank you for the honor of addressing you today. And thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the words you have expressed to us. I appreciate your commitment to some of the issues that are also very close to us: peace and security, climate change, preservation of the environment, and the well-being of our region through regional integration. I'm especially happy that you have expressed in warm terms the partnership between our two countries, which being two smaller countries on the African continent, our own being very small, is very important to us. I would now like to give the word to the leaders of the Assembly to address a brief message in response to His Excellency's address. I call on the Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Sébastien Pillet.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon once again. And I would like to thank Your Excellency, President Paul Kagame, for your address before the Assembly. It is indeed a rare privilege and an honor to receive such a distinguished statesman from Africa addressing our very small Assembly. Colleagues and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today is a very important occasion for us to reflect on the shared history, which we all, as all Africans, we share, but also to listen to the words of a statesman that has gone through different processes in his own country and that has realized that unity, solidarity, and dignity are the cornerstone of building a very strong nation. Indeed, it is very important that we focus on our shared histories, but also we resist every attempt to rewrite history, because our history underscores who we are underscores our culture, and underscores what makes us a people. For too long, as Africans, we have allowed others to write our history. I believe it is you who once said, "You are not British, you are not American. These are the things they do. You are a Rwandan." In my case, Mr. President, I am not British, I am not American. These are the things they do. I am a Seychellois and proud to be. Mr. President, unity, dignity, and solidarity can only happen when we foster democracy. And democracy needs to be fostered because it can easily be extinguished by attempts to listen to others that want us to believe that our history does not matter to us. You mentioned, Mr. President, that Seychelles has reached high income per GDP, and the development that we've achieved has been through the hard work of the Seychellois nation. Each and every Seychellois person that contributed to achieving this great result is a testament to our ability as a nation to overcome. After COVID-19 hit us, just like it hit other countries in Africa, we came together as Africans to resolve the problems that this poses for us. But the issues that face us have now changed. We now face geopolitical concerns by stronger powers than us to decide on the destinies of our nations. And I believe, Mr. President, you will join Seychelles in ensuring that we resist those attempts to change the context of where we want to take our collective peoples. Mr. President, as we celebrate our independence, allow me to also remember those people who fought for our independence. I remember today, Mr. President, our former president, the founding president of my party, Mr. Franz Albert René, who was a precursor and one of the individuals who led the fight for independence in my country. I also remember Sir James Mankam, who was also a politician at the time, who also played his part, but he was on the opposing side. The point I'm making, Mr. President, is that whether you're on the opposing side or whether you led the struggle, we all contribute to making our nation greater and better for the future. I call upon you, Mr. President, to use your influence to ensure that the flames of democracy, as it burns today brightly in other countries, do not show any regression in countries such as Seychelles, which is small and very vulnerable. I thank you for addressing this assembly, and I thank you for your esteemed presence here today. It is a testament to how much we've achieved as a nation, but is also a testament of our shared friendship between our sister countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Leader of the Opposition. I will now call on the Leader of Government Business in the Assembly, Honorable Bernard George.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon. On behalf of the government members of this, our National Assembly, I wish to thank you, Your Excellency, for your inspiring words to our institution this afternoon, and to wish you a pleasant remaining few days in our country. We are a small nation and a long way from the African mainland, but our heart beats with that of the continent from which a significant portion of our population originates, and to which our umbilical cord is still firmly attached. Many of us have had the privilege of visiting your country and seeing the rapid development which Rwanda has undergone under your stewardship. That Rwanda will not forever be defined by the events of 1994, but that it will look to a future where it can show that the past does not have to be a chain inhibiting progress, but that it can be an uplifting wind allowing nations to soar higher, is perhaps the singular message that your country gives to the continent in particular and to the world in general. A few years ago, I had the privilege, in another capacity, to be present in Kigali on the occasion of the signing of the agreement establishing the African Continental Free Trade Area, and of seeing the upbeat and forward-looking vision of the continent displayed on that occasion. It is no coincidence that the country chosen for that event was your own, the country which has shown that with good governance and enlightened leadership, every country in Africa has the capacity to lead the world. In a sense, as I'm sure you will agree, ours is an equally good example of this reality. We look forward to putting our country on display tomorrow at the National Day Parade and hope that you will, Your Excellency, return to Rwanda with happy memories of your stay in our cherished islands. I thank you.
I thank the leaders of our National Assembly for the words on behalf of our members. Mr. President, it remains for me to thank you again for sharing your wisdom with us. And I also want to take special care to wish you a happy continuation of your stay in Seychelles. And I certainly hope that your days you have had with us have been pleasant and will provide good memories for you to take back to Rwanda. I am sure we will be very honored to see you at the National Day celebrations tomorrow, where you will join our people in celebrating independence of the Republic of Seychelles. Thank you, Mr. President, and I wish you a happy continuation of your stay and a very good return to your country. The Assembly will now adjourn. Mr. President, I will ask you that you will join us in a photo session in the hall to conclude the occasion. Thank you.
All right.